All right, for my next project, this is something I had started a long time ago, and when I got back into this, working on my stuff more, and for this channel, since I had my other channels that I was putting most of my time in. So I have projects that are halfway completed, started, in boxes, etc. So, but this is the Dragon 1/16 scale Panzer Grenadier Kharkov 1943. And I bought a few of these figures and they really frustrated me. I didn't like the anatomy. The detail was soft, etc. But a couple of figures are decent. I feel like this one's decent. The head that came with it's not bad. The detail even on the cap here is pretty good. But what I did is I replaced it with a head from Alpine, a 1/16. You can get a set with I think four heads, 4 or 5 heads. I can't remember. So what I did is I used that head. I had, I was trying with a helmet and stuff, and I was like, this facial features on this one, and it really looks good. I wanted to change it up a lot because this one had the cap too, but I really like the way this head looked. I want to paint it, so that's what happened here. And then right here, a few things that I did. I put Magic Sculpt for this around his neck here. It's probably the same thing that fit around his head. I forget the name of these things. But that's probably that pulled down. Right here you can see some, looks like wire, but it's actually fine scale, or what do you want to call it? Fine, small diameter solder. And that's what I did. I drilled 2 little holes, put it in there, and then I just tied off the end. Like these are the ties for the hood. And what I did for the hood is I textured it more using a soldering pencil, just touching it, melting the plastic just a little bit to give some texture on that. Equipment comes with it. And what I did is I had 2, I guess from another figure that I never did finish. I had 2 MP40s. I tried to fit it in there. I'm having a hard time. I broke the end off. I'm going to probably get the end off of this MP40, put it on that one. This is all messed up. But I had to do the folding stock so it would fit in here the way I wanted it. And I've got the hand. The hand is glued on to the MP40, and then it actually matches up really good, so that's going to work out a lot better. And then I'll just have to put a strap and finish that up. So that being said, we've got a good start on this figure. Next things, just to make sure it's cleaned up, washed. I'll probably make a base out of what came with the kit. There's some bases. Let's see here. These bases come with it, and it's not a bad base at all. And I actually have a little bit of space to maybe put a wall. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I got to do that before I even finish this figure. I got to figure out the groundwork. So that being said, let's get at it and let's say put together a dragon figure and let's improve it. So I'm going to call this improving a 1/16 scale dragon figure. So let's get at it. Okay, I've given the figure an overspray of Mr. Servicer 1000 and gives it a good base coat. And I'm going to airbrush on top of that now a shadow and a highlight for the face and for the uniform, basic uniform stuff. So let's get at it. So instead of painting the figure yet. I started messing around with a with the backdrop for his base, and as you can see, I've got a building here started. There's a photo here I'm going to show you that I'm basing this off, especially the bottom here. Obviously the roof is a little different, but it just gives a little bit of a background for the figure. And it's all made out of plastic, of course. And I'm just going to use Magic Sculpt on top of it to do details, and I'm going to put some roof shingles, stuff like that. So that's the start. But I think I'll finish the house and then paint the figure. So let's get at it. All right, I'm kind of all over the place here. So I put a little bit of paint on this figure. I started off just spraying it with this bronze green. And then I kind of oversprayed from the top, and especially on his face, flat flesh. So I want to paint him in oils. And when you paint in oils, you have to have an undercoat, because you put the oils on almost like a glaze where under the undercoat shows through a little bit. It's not opaque exactly. So you can see the difference in the tones, which actually came out kind of cool when I just thinned this down very thin with water and just put it as a wash. And it really looks actually pretty cool. And the face, as I said, I sprayed most of it on there. I mean, there's a little bit of, you can see some of the green underneath to give it some shadow, which is fine. So then on the base, I did the Magic Sculpt, and I noticed a lot of the photos, the roadways and sidewalks and stuff almost look paved in Kharkov. I mean, this figure could be Kharkov, Hungary, anywhere towards the end of the war, probably. Maybe even the Ardennes a little bit. They had some of that clothing. So what I'm going to do now, I think, is put the figure aside for a while, and I'm going to finish the house base up with Magic Sculpt. So let's get at that. Okay, so I've added the magic sculpt on the wall here and just textured it with a toothbrush. I started on the bricks here. On the side I had a little bit left over, so that's how it's going to look on the front here. This is going to be bricks, and that'll be bricks the same as this, and that'll be all for it. So it's coming out pretty cool. Let's get at it. Alrighty, the entire base and wall is painted black. I'm going to put some blue tape on it now and just hit it with a light coat to get a highlight color. So let's get at it. Alrighty, so what I did is add a little bit of acrylic paint, painted the bricks, put a little bit of color on the stucco wall there, and just kind of gave a dark color here. I use these two colors together for the bottom of this kind of mixture together. I use some of it on the wall, and then I actually use just red, but very sparingly the red, kind of a dry brushing on there, just to get out some more color. I'm going to put spackle on just this now, and now I drilled some holes here, and the reason I did that, you're going to see it, you know it anyway from the thumbnail photos, but I did some stretch sprue with clear, because I'm going to hang some of these for icicles, and then I'm going to put some clear what is it, gel, what is it, gloss gel medium on there to represent these icicles. So that's what I did. I did some out of the clear sprue there. So I'm going to try that. I think it's going to work out really good. So let's put in the spackle, and let's just finish up this whole building here. Alright, so what I did next is I got some of my pastels, a green olive color and another reddish color mixed with a turpenoid, and I just did some washes on here to give it some more life. And the bricks and on the wall, just a touch on the wall. And as you can see, I added a poster. What I did was I went online and I started looking up Russian propaganda posters, and I printed off some stuff, and obviously these were too big, so I printed them to started getting the scale of what I wanted for the wall. And I've got different ones that I tried, and I picked that one. So I just wanted to add some more interest and geographical area to the scene. And next, I told you about the stretch sprue clear, I'm going to add that under the wall here. So when I start making the icicles, so let's get at that. So there is the stretch sprue from clear sprue that I added for icicles. And like I said, later I'll put the gloss medium over that to even make it a little bit more realistic looking and not, so mechanical there. And then there's going to be snow on the roof and snow on the ground a little bit. So trying to think what I need to do next. I don't want to put the snow because I'm gonna have to add the figure. I might be able to put the snow on. I just have to be careful around his feet, things like that. So I might go ahead and just finish the base. So let's just do that. All right, it's time to get into the important part of the project here, and that's painting the face and then the uniform. What I've got is my artist oils out, and what I've done here is mixed up some flesh color using burnt sienna, white, some red, yellow, and blue. The other colors here are black and burnt umber for darker, deeper shadows, and the black I may use with the blue for a 5 o'clock shadow. Just have to see how it goes. So let's get at it. And I'm gonna try to do the best I can showing how to paint in oils, at least the way I do it, which I learned a long time ago when it was Bob Nee, Bill Ottinger, and Larry Monet. I used to go to Larry Monet's house, and he showed me how to apply the oils and all that. Once again, mixing oils, if you don't know how to mix colors, you get you a color wheel, or just look at a color wheel online, and it'll help you out a lot. So that being said, let's just start on this and get going. I'm gonna apply it over this acrylic base that I've done, and when you put oils on, you spread them out very, very thin, like a glaze. So you would actually be putting them on, spreading them out so much that the undercoat kind of shows through, and that way you can blend and highlight. So let's get at it. All right, so as you can see, I'm blending with a clean brush. Just every time I blend, I get whatever's on there off. And I'm applying the paint very subtle with a small brush. And, you know, I've done the basic highlight, shadow, some red tones in here for the cheeks, on the lips. I got some more on the lips here. And I put some on the nose because it's cold. Put some more. One, and then just blend it in. That's all you got to do. It's kind of, some people have said it's kind of like applying makeup, I guess. I don't know. But it's pretty effective. And as I said, the oil color is on very thin. And I didn't even use any terpenoid to thin the paint. I just didn't let it soak up anything. And it was, you know, you're able to really just push it over the acrylic surface that's already on there. And you can do all your blending now. I haven't messed with the eyes yet, really. I'm gonna... All right. Not too bad. And this takes a while to dry, so you can keep messing with it. Oof. All right, everything's coming out pretty well. His face is really pretty good, I think. I still got to mess with his eyes. I haven't done his eyes because they're very squinty slits in there. So I got to mess with that. And all I really have left to do is his coats, pants, and shoes, and obviously the MP40. And I've got to put a strap on there, etc. So you can see what I, you know, in oils, see, I started just tearing it all up here, getting other colors by blending them to do his canteen and bread bag and ammo pouch, stuff like that. But so it's very difficult to show what I'm doing. It would take forever. And then, you know, you put the oils on, like I say, thin, and see where when I blend, I just wipe the whatever is blending part off from where I blended the oils in together. And it's very subtle. I mean, that's why there's hardly any paint, you know, brushed off there. And you're putting very thin layer over the acrylics. Like I said, the acrylics showed through. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna leave that face for a while, and I'm gonna just finish the coat. Actually, I gotta work on the eyes because I gotta be able to hold that figure better. So maybe I'll do that. So that being said, I'm gonna finish the eyes, do the coat, the pants, shoes, and then the little final details in the MP40, and I'm finished. Let's get at it. All right, so what I did is I put the base coat on, which I mixed black, yellow, and a little bit of burnt sienna to get this greenish color that I wanted. The blue's there because I'm going to mix that to make field gray for the pants later. But I put the base coat and then I added just black for the shadow and then blended it all in. As you can see, I blended it with that brush and put the shadows in with the smaller brush in the cracks and everything, then blended everything in. And next I will do the highlights. So let's get at it. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the uniform. I still have to paint the buttons and a few other little things here and there. Still working on his eyes a little bit. Got the whites in there. When you do oils on larger figures, they're a lot easier than smaller ones because you got to spread the oil out until it's very, very flat and you don't even see any lumps or anything. I mean, you put this on flat, and that's why I use a flat brush to apply it. And then, I don't know if you could tell in the time lapse, but I put the shadows in the shadow areas and then blend with a dry brush. And then you can see that's after I blend, get the paint off, and then blend some more. And then do the highlight and do the same thing with a clean brush, and then highlight and blend again with a clean brush over the highlight. I added pastels into the wet artist oils because that works really well and you can get a good effect on it that way. Right now, next I've just got to let this dry. It's definitely going to have a flat coat put on it. It's pretty glossy, as you can see. Face not so much glossy, which is nice. A lot of the time the acrylics soak up a lot of the linseed. And I don't take the linseed out when I'm spreading this paint out because I want it to really spread out really good without having to add terpenoid thinner. And it works out really well when you blend and everything because you don't have a thick coat on there. It's basically a glaze. The little cords for the hood came out really good, better than what I expected, so I was really pleased with that. So once again, got a few more things to paint, the MP40, and I guess we're getting, like I said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So let's finish this guy up and take some photos. All right, here's the final piece. 1/16 scale dragon figure with a alpine head and some other little extras added, like the texturing of the hood and the strap on the MP40, the little ties on the hood for the parka, and yeah, it's one of the probably one of the best figures I've painted in a while. I really put some effort into this one. It took some time. Did it completely in oils like I used to do. And as shown in the video, you put an undercoat of something pretty close to what you want it to look like, and then you mix your oils and put them on, and really you have to just spread them out, the oil thin, so thin that the undercoat shows through. That way your highlight and shadow is much easier when you blend it with a dry, clean brush, and you just keep wiping the brush off as you blend, and it works out very well. The alpine head, very good, was definitely the improvement of this figure, the most it needed. And it really makes a difference. The icicles on the roof, I think, are just really cool looking. They turned out really good with the stretch sprue, the clear stretch sprue, so that worked out very well. I could use that and maybe some other techniques in another instance where there's ice or something that needs clear ice. So that worked out really well. The building, I really enjoyed doing that. It was quick and fun. The poster, I think, adds color to it, a sense of where it's at. And the snow mixed white glue, PVA glue, and just baking soda, white baking soda, and then just applying it on there as you saw in the time lapse. The MP40 was painted using gunmetal gray from Viejo. It's 179 or 70.863, and I mixed a little bit of black with this to paint the MP40, and I think it really came out really good. It's not like a dry brush look, which I didn't want. You know, everybody's doing the and I do it too on the smaller figures, the pencil lead onto black, but I really wanted something that was a lot smoother looking when I looked at reference photos. So that being said, the strap is just paper and painted. And once everything was finished, except for the icicles and the base here, I sprayed it with Tester's flat, which I have some here. I just use this overspray because the oils tend to dry a little bit shiny. Some not as much as others. It just depends. But usually they'll come out a little shiny. So I definitely gave it the overspray. And I think it really came out good. The colors, artist oils, I mean, this is my own opinion. And they are much richer than acrylics. They blend smoother, obviously, than acrylics. And you can keep working them for a while. I mean, I could have worked on that coat for a day or two. I mean, it wasn't even totally dry the next day. So I could have came back in and put more highlights or shadows. So that's what's really cool about it. The little tie downs for the hood is just small gauge solder. It was easy to work with since it's so, you can bend it really easy. It's something that's easy, so that turned out cool. But some of the equipment may have came from another DML figure. And I do have one other one here that I'm playing around with. And I've already added an alpine head. So I'm messing with this one. This is possible future video on doing the same thing, except painting some camouflage. So we'll see about that. And that's pretty much it. I really enjoyed this, and I hope everyone else did too. I appreciate all the comments. Please comment, and any questions you have on this. There's nothing too basic, too simple of a comment. Don't be afraid. I'd love to answer them, and I appreciate everyone's participation. And thanks again for watching another one of my videos, and stay tuned for more.